ASMR with Audrey Jones.
ASMR edition.
And Abby and Ramsey.
Sebastian Latour.
That's me. Bang, bang, boom.
Are we ready to start?
We're already going.
Okay.
Oh. Hey, guys.
Welcome to Literally Headlines. Literally. And sorry.
Are you done?
I'm finished.
Okay.
Sorry we missed last week. We were all on spring break here in Knox County schools, and we all had a good week. What'd you all do this week?
Well, I went to Belize on a mission
Ooh.
trip, so that was really cool.
We need to hear more about this. That's pretty cool.
Well, it was pretty awesome. I don't know. So much happened. It's hard to talk about one thing. I met this really cool kid named Daniel. He's 9 years old and got to talk to him some. Really cute little kid. So, yeah. Met a lot of little kids.
What'd you all do?
Well, we went to two elementary schools. We went back a couple times, and then we went to this high school, and we went to a hospital, and we actually went to a boys' correctional facility, which was really cool.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, we did a ton of stuff. It was awesome.
Well,
That's
I
pretty
went
cool.
to Disney World with the
Wow.
fam, and
Yeah.
it was a
Ooh.
lot of fun. I rode the Tower of Terror. Loved it. My favorite ride. Actually, I have to say my favorite ride was the Hall of Presidents.
What?
It was thrilling.
So Audrey's back on her history kick.
Oh, yeah.
You can't stop me.
If you heard last week's episode, she made about 4 history references. So
Well, what I thought was really cool about her trip was the ass.
I need a little more explanation.
The donkey and then the jackass, right?
Yeah. So basically, I guess I'm the jackass. If we're
Wait, everybody go back. Just and explain. Okay.
Well,
there's an Instagram picture.
The
that was
Instagram
posted.
picture.
Oh, yeah, guys, I'm not on social media.
Yeah, Abby Ann gave it up for
Uh-oh.
Lent.
Yeah, I'm really out of the loop, if you can't tell. But yeah.
All right, Sebastian, what did you do?
I went to Seaside, Florida, right there on the 30A. It was pretty awesome. So one of my
Whoa.
favorite movies is The Truman Show, and
Such a
it was
good movie.
filmed right there. So I got to go to the house, and I went around, and everything was
crazy.
just right in that area, and it was beautiful. All my friends were there too, so it was a really good trip for spring break.
Yeah, everyone from our school went to Seaside.
Yeah, I had some friends there.
Yeah,
Did you get lit? Did you party hard?
I didn't party too much.
Okay. Okay, Sebastian.
Yep.
So to continue our theme of criminal masterminds, today we have a case from Wisconsin. Yeah. This is kind of a
Wow.
crappy case, if I do say so myself.
Was that a pun?
It is. So in Wisconsin, there is a serial toilet clogger on the loose.
What?
There is someone that it keeps clogging the a public women's bathroom, and it's been done a ton over the last year.
What?
They have apparently the person is taking soda bottles and shoving it down the pipes.
Oh, so this isn't a natural clogging thing.
No,
they
they're
don't
doing it
just
on
have
purpose.
irritable bowel syndrome, because that's what I thought it was.
So that's probably how they know it's all connected,
Yeah,
because he just keeps putting it down there.
yeah.
Where's
This is
that from?
Fox News. It has this great. The police department created a great little advertisement of a man bending over and putting a soda into the toilet. Where it says, "No, don't do that.
No, don't do
Please
that."
don't."
Wasn't it
Not
a
that.
women's restroom?
It was a women's restroom.
But
yes.
they put the guy on the interesting.
Now they're getting sexist.
Come on,
Uh-oh.
Wisconsin. But what makes you want to do that?
I have no clue.
That's where they get their joy.
I mean, I'm not one to judge.
I'm not one to judge, but that's a new low.
That is a new low.
I'm
Really?
gonna mess up this gas station.
Speaking of crazy things, Abby Ann, you want to tell us about what you got?
Oh, yeah. So, some of you may have heard, but Mike Pence recently just released a children's picture book titled A Day in the Life of the Vice President, and it's from the perspective of their bunny in the White House, Marlon Bundo.
There's a bunny in the White House?
The vice president has a bunny.
That's
So,
shocking.
Yeah,
That's goals.
he wrote this book, and then John Oliver, just classic John Oliver move, he decided to make his own book titled A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo, which is actually about a gay bunny finding love. So, and this This article is from New York Times, and it just jumped to number 1 on the charts. It has beat out the memoir of James Comey, the former FBI director, and it beat out the actual book by Mike Pence.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's so funny. But hold on. Who would want to read a book about the vice president? Like a children's book?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find that interesting, but that's...
But a gay bunny finding love is literally the best thing in the world.
Oh, yeah. It's hilarious.
That's like
so
an epic
amazing.
callback.
Yeah. All the proceeds from that book are going towards the Trevor Project, which is a charity for LGBT youth, and AIDS United. So, John Oliver, good guy, I guess.
Mike Pence is probably scratching his head and he's like, that was a bad idea.
Apparently his daughter bought a copy
of
John Oliver's book. Yeah.
Savage. That's savage.
I bet she doesn't even have his book. And he's like, oh, I see how it is.
Yeah. And she released a statement that was like, as long as all the proceeds are going to charity, I feel like it's okay.
I love that this is like a big debate going on. Like right now in politics.
Like this is
gay rabbits and non-gay rabbits.
Yeah. This is from New York Times. They're talking about, this book by John Oliver. It's just so funny. Also kind of related to some White House drama. So Joe Biden,
Former
the incredible,
vice president.
the incredible
The
Joe
wonderful.
Biden, my love. He recently was giving a speech at the University of Miami and was talking about Trump's opinions about sexual violence against women, and said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the H out of him.
Ooh.
We're on air, so gotta watch out.
Okay.
So then Trump responded with a pretty classic Trump response, a tweet. It's pretty crazy. Crazy Joe Biden is trying to act like a tough guy. Actually, he is weak, both mentally and physically, and yet he threatens me for the second time with physical assault. I wasn't aware of the first time, but
When was the first time?
I'm not sure. He doesn't know me, but he would go down fast and hard, crying all the way. Don't threaten people, Joe. Just
this
made me
is such
sad
a
to read.
juvenile argument.
Yeah, it really is.
This
it really
is. Oh
This
my
is
gosh.
this is politics right
This
now.
is America right now.
Yeah, this is America. But yeah,
You know what the sad thing is too about we're talking about how smart Trump is. He did go to an Ivy League school, which is kind of shocking sometimes.
Yeah, it is shocking. And this article is from NPR, which just very interesting
Amazing.
that they're releasing information on it. But yeah,
Abby, and aren't you a big fan of Joe Biden?
I love Joe Biden.
Joe Biden's
Because
amazing.
I have a distinct memory that you posted Joe Biden as your Man Crush Monday one.
Like a
one year.
celebrity crush.
Yeah,
might have done
young
that.
Joe Biden.
Young Joe Biden.
And you were
There's
like,
one picture of
Man
him.
Crush Monday. Young Joe Biden.
It was a collection of all my celebrity crushes.
Yeah.
It also included young Barack Obama.
There was a lot of
You
other
know what we should
interesting
do?
ones.
How about this? Joe Biden, if you're out there listening, come on the show sometime. We'd love to have you. Please be our guest.
Wow, that would be incredible.
It would make all of our days. It would be amazing.
I am like Leslie Knope when it comes to Joe Biden.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys
course.
watch Parks and Rec, but she loves Joe Biden.
Of course, I watched Parks and Rec, Abby.
Okay.
And who do you
May-
think I am?
maybe Joe
Uncultured?
Biden
Yes.
I don't watch Parks and Rec.
Well, you should.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, so
What's up?
hello. How's it going, Sergio?
It's good.
So this is literally headlines. Who are we on the phone with?
You're on the phone with Sergio.
Okay,
How's it
so
going?
we have a story for you, Sergio. This is Abby Ann Ramsey, and she's gonna tell you.
All right. Hey, Sergio. So pretty crazy stuff happening. I don't
Wait,
know.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
This is literally
I'm-
headlines.
yeah.
This is Abby Ann.
Yeah, I'm Abby Ann.
This-
We haven't met before.
Okay, well, nice to meet you on the phone.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. All right, so I don't know if you heard, but a while back, Mike Pence published a children's book about his bunny in the White House titled Marlon Bundo's A Day in the Life of the Vice President. And John Oliver kind of fired back with that and released a book titled A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo. And it's about a gay bunny finding love.
Okay.
So
I did not know that.
yeah. So John Oliver's book has recently jumped to the #1 spot on the bestseller list. And so we just kind of wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Well, I find that pretty ironic. And that just goes to show how much people really just want to stick it in to Pence and his boss. He comes out with a pretty funny. That's funny. I honestly did not know that Mike Pence came out with a book like that. I feel like I would have heard about that. Was it with him and his wife, or was it just him?
It was, so the people who actually wrote it were his wife and his daughter.
Okay,
so,
I see. That makes a lot more sense, because I can't really see Vice President Pence sitting at his office,
writing a book about the bunny.
The bunny.
Yeah, yeah.
That seems a little too. Can we say homo on this?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Well, that's pretty ironic. What else has been going on?
Well, I don't know if you're a big Joe Biden fan.
Oh, Joey, I love Uncle Joe.
Yeah, so do I. I'm a huge Joe Biden fan. Anyways, I don't know if you saw Biden and Trump kind of got into it today. Biden kind of said, yeah, so you already know.
Well,
and did you see? Go ahead.
Tell me if I'm getting this right. So Uncle Joe said something in a speech about how he could take out, or he could beat up President Trump, and then President Trump, was it on Twitter?
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
I could put $5 on Twitter that he texts, that he tweets back, oh no, I could take him down or something like that.
Yeah,
is that right?
Do you want to hear the tweet?
Yes, please tell me the tweet.
Okay. This is from Donald Trump directly. Crazy Joe Biden is trying to act like a tough guy. Actually, he is weak, both mentally and physically, and yet he threatens me for the second time with physical assault. He doesn't know me, but he would go down fast, hard, crying all the way. Don't threaten people, Joe. So I don't know how that made you feel, but I'm a huge Joe Biden fan, so that just kind of hurt my heart.
Well, so first of all, the fact that the President of the United States goes to his not even official Twitter account, and then he starts talking about that by the former Vice President. I mean, yeah, maybe Joe Biden shouldn't have said that. I guess that Uncle Joe was just being Uncle Joe. But to be honest, let's be serious. If it's between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who eats like 2 Big Macs a day, have you ever looked up what he eats? What's his favorite stuff to get at McDonald's?
I don't want to know.
It's disgusting. It's like 3,000 calories in a meal. Anyways.
Oh, man.
Delicious.
Well, if you just see them getting together, the only way that I could see Donald Trump beating Joe Biden is if he got quick enough to sit on him before Joe Biden ran
That's
away.
great.
Really,
yeah.
I mean, Joe Biden, pretty sure he trained every day when he was vice president.
Yeah.
Because that was a kind of,
there's pictures. Him and Obama would run around the White House together.
That's friendship goals.
Yeah, really though.
The perfect bromance.
Yeah. Well, I
don't know. That's pretty crazy stuff, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy. That's what's going on in politics right now.
Politics.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for
politics.
Thank you for joining the show. For those of you that don't know, Sergio is my brother, who is a political science major at UT. So
yes, well, that is true.
Thank you.
I appreciate the call. I welcome any more. You guys really brightened up my day. It was just going.
You should leave a review.
I'm on my way to do a project right now, so thank you very much.
You should leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Literally, headlines.
I will literally, do that.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Y'all have a good rest of your day. All right.
Will do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Let's go. Let's move on. Let's move on before I get attacked. So
shots fired.
There was some really heartbreaking news this week. Last Wednesday, I look at my phone and I see that Stephen Hawking passed away.
I know. I was so sad. I was in the line for a Disney ride, and I was like, no. My heart really broke. I was so sad.
Gonna be honest, I was in Belize, and
she didn't
find out about it.
She just found out, yes.
I just found out.
It's so sad, though, because I remember, we always talk about the great scientists. We always think about the philosophers in Greece, and then we talk about Albert Einstein. And our generation grew up with Stephen Hawking. And that's kind of crazy to think about that. He's gone, like, who's next? Like, who's in his footsteps?
Good question.
The next smartest person?
The next smartest person.
That's obviously me, so no questions about it.
Well, it's really touching. I got this article from the Just Time, and this is a quote by Stephen Hawking. It says, "Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet." I just think that's so powerful, like, about him and his life, because he had such a hard life. I mean, his sickness and him literally not being able to leave his chair.
He's such an inspiration to, like, everyone.
And with all, like, his family issues and everything, I don't know if you guys have seen The Theory of Everything, but that's where most of my information about Stephen Hawking comes from. But he has, like, a really sad story.
And Stephen Hawking actually said that at some points he felt like he was watching himself when he watched that movie. So that movie is very true. So if you haven't seen that, go out there and see that.
Starring Eddie Redmayne.
It's amazing.
He is. Yes. Love him. He's wonderful. But also one thing I actually love about Stephen Hawking is that even though he's like has this like terrible disease and stuff, he still had a really good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he
really.
was on The Simpsons. I mean, he did all these different things. There's like one episode of Monty Python where he runs over another physicist with his chair, and it's like hilarious. Like he still had a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And you can see in like one interview he does, a guy asks him like, "Is there like other universes where I'm smarter than you?" And he goes, "Yeah, and there's one where you're funny too." And he's just like, he's always making jokes, and like, it's so inspiring to see that someone is still laughing and having fun.
He was still good-hearted, even though he had so much to be depressed about, and I'm sure at some points he was. Like, just his story is so inspirational to everybody, and what he achieved by a chair. Like, that didn't hold him back. Nothing could hold him back.
Yeah.
How old was he?
76.
Yeah.
Which is really old.
That's like really good for his disease.
Supposed to live for 2 years.
Seriously.
2 years. It's crazy.
He's still there.
Wow.
All right. Another kind of tragic incident that's been going on is
very tragic.
Yeah, the Austin bombings. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's been multiple like bombs that have gone off in Texas, and there's been a couple deaths and victims and stuff, and it's a really kind of tragic and confusing and terrifying case.
Yeah.
It's what happened there. It kind of reminds me, I wasn't alive during the Unabomber, but I've heard a lot about it, and it just never ends the way that it should end. Like, yes, we'll get to where the last explosion ended with him killing himself in his car. But it's just, the thing about the people in Austin that had to live through all that terror.
Like, knowing that there could be
a package and it's just going to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so scary.
Yeah, there was multiple packages were left on people's like doorsteps and then they exploded. I think there was one where it was actually a tripwire and people stepped on it and exploded. Yeah. And then the last bomb, he detonated it himself. And also, recently, police found a 25-minute confession. I found this on CNN, and one of the things that's kind of horrible about it is that he doesn't really say why he did it at all. There's like no reason for it, there's just nothing for why he did it.
It makes you wonder what he talked about for 25 minutes when he never gave the reason.
Seriously.
He just, like his
he talked about
for
his like 6 bombs and like how he made them and stuff, I think. Also how he made them out of like stuff you buy from sporting goods and Home Depot and stuff like that. And the fact that, anybody can probably make a bomb.
Well, and the reason that how they found him is pretty cool too, because apparently his bombs had very foreign batteries in them.
Yeah.
That you can only buy in specific places. And that's literally that one piece of evidence, that one clue led them to find him, but never to question him.
Yeah.
Which is sad that we don't know why, but at least the terror is over.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have to feel for the families that lost loved ones during this time.
I know.
And for his family. I don't know anything about his family, but that'd be really tough to go through because he obviously was struggling with some kind of mental illness that went untreated.
Yeah, I mean, his family said they didn't see anything coming. They didn't think anything was wrong.
Yeah, and that's really scary, especially with school shootings being so relevant right now.
Yeah.
Because
all this
they
stuff.
tell us about looking for warning signs and everything, but like
Sometimes there aren't.
sometimes there aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't tell. I mean, it looks like, a young boy that's going off to college was killed. It's just,
That's awful.
it's just a really sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Let's take us back to some calmer, happy stuff. This is hilarious. So KFC has some amazing chicken. We all know it's amazing.
I'm a Chick-fil-A
But-
kind of gal, so.
Yeah, me too. I've never been like a KFC person, but
All right, I'm going to talk directly to the
Okay.
audience now.
okay.
So they ran out of chicken. And like, who would think?
How do
But
you-
this wasn't just
how do
one
you-
store. This was a lot of stores. They were all more than 600 stores ran out of chicken.
How do you just run out of chicken at a KFC?
I can't tell you why, but I can tell you what KFC said. KFC made an advertisement with a chicken bucket on it, and instead of KFC, it says the letters FCK. Sound that out, say it out loud. You know what it says. And it is just the funniest thing in the world. And then it says, "We're sorry. Like, we shouldn't run out of chicken. I know it's probably not a good thing for a chicken restaurant to run out of chicken, but
Probably not. Probably not a good
I
thing.
mean, it's not what you want.
Yeah. Imagine walking into KFC.
yeah, we'll definitely put a picture on Instagram." And I found this from the New York Post. But then this is how they finish it off. They say, "The Colonel's working on it." It's like, I wanted some chicken. They were apologizing for all these people having to drive long distances to come get the chicken that they wanted. It was like, nope.
But would
sorry.
you, so if you
We're out.
walked into one KFC and they said, "Sorry, we're out of chicken," would you drive a long distance to another KFC?
Hold up. One time, I was
Yes.
trying to go to McDonald's to get some ice cream because, McDonald's has the best ice cream. I went
And
to
it's
2
always
different
broken.
McDonald's and both of the ice cream machines was
The
broken.
was it the
I did
McFlurry
not
machine?
get ice cream. No, I just
just the
wanted a
ice cream?
sundae.
You know what you need to get? The Chick-fil-A, vanilla milkshake. Best thing in the world.
I love
It
their
is pretty
peppermint.
good.
Their
I
peppermint
love their
milkshakes.
frosted coffee. It's really underrated. That's like my favorite thing.
Of course you would like
I also
coffee.
love coffee though,
Of course.
so a little biased.
Sebastian, why did the chicken cross the road?
To pick up a stick.
No, to get away from KFC.
Oh,
That wasn't funny.
Yes, it was.
Hello?
Hello, William.
What the?
You are on literally headlines.
Literally.
Literally. Headline.
Headlines.
Welcome.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Sebastian's got a couple questions
Yeah.
for you.
So, first of all, it was nice seeing you today.
Yes, it was very good to see you
It
on
was-
the roadways.
It was a nice surprise. I was like, whoa, that's Will.
Yeah. Did you see the semi truck that was broken down in the road in front of me?
No,
Oh, well, that happened.
that's unlucky.
I love how we're getting
Yeah.
a little taste of their day.
For those of you that don't know, Will and I aren't that close, but we act a lot closer than we are, and we drive the same car, and it's pretty
Yes,
cool.
we do.
Nice.
Yes.
He's awesome. So
Why, thank you.
this reminded us of you, so feel special about that. So
Okay.
okay, so you've been to KFC, right?
Yeah, once.
Once. Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, one time.
this could apply to every chicken restaurant. So they ran out of chicken. Like here, they ran out of chicken, and their sign that said like "we're sorry about the chicken" had a chicken bucket, and on it it said FCK, and it said "We're sorry, we're out of chicken."
That's a good one.
Wait. Like the bucket was in the sentence or what?
There was a bucket, like there's a little paragraph, and then above it there's a big bucket, maybe
An empty bucket
an empty bucket,
Uh-huh.
because there was no chicken.
and it says FCK instead of KFC.
Uh-huh. So somebody just accidentally typed up their words wrong or
Pronounce FCK.
No,
in,
no.
in your head.
Not on the air. We
Yeah.
can't say that.
Pronounce it.
Okay.
Sebastian.
I was gonna tell him to do it in his head.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
yeah. Yeah, I got that. I just didn't know if that was the intended,
So do
Yeah.
you get it
lettering.
like, oh, we're out of chicken. We're sorry.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that?
Sounds like, they just probably the workers just, they just decided to have a field day with a little bit of freedom that they got. And, probably just wrote some letters up there.
Well, it's pretty awesome because this went viral. But this was like,
It did.
this wasn't just the store that did that. This was the
Like,
600 stores went
600
out.
stores.
And this was like this was
all
a
of them?
big fail, dude.
Wait, all of them did it?
Yes.
Like almost all of them.
600
So,
stores went out.
I feel like you're kind of on Audrey and I's side a little bit more. Like we're not huge KFC fans, but
Yeah, no.
Sebastian,
Okay, KFC.
he dabbles in the KFC
Well,
world.
here's the thing. If I don't want to go get that Chick-fil-A sandwich, because I don't have any money,
Right.
but I want to get some more food, I want to go to KFC and get some actual good
Is
chicken.
Is it a cheaper option?
No,
with,
it's more
quality goods,
expensive.
or-
It's
And
Your argument is
prestigious.
that it
invalid.
was cheaper.
I haven't
Yeah, you
been
said
there in
you
a
don't
long
have
time.
money.
Okay. Well,
Will, tell us how you would feel if you went to a restaurant that serves chicken and they didn't have chicken.
Oh man, I would definitely feel betrayed, but
Betrayed, like you personally know
it's a
them.
personal problem now.
Yeah.
They stabbed you
No,
right in the
yeah.
back.
for sure. But only if I was going for the chicken. Like if it's a chicken restaurant and they were, serving good soup, and that's what I'm going for, I wouldn't be too mad. But it just depends.
What if you
Well,
wanted
like,
chicken
'cause-
noodle soup?
Yeah, then no, yeah. Well, oh wait, there's chicken in that. They'd probably have that, honestly. It's probably not the same chicken, so I bet they'd still have it. But I've only been there once, and I wouldn't say it was very good quality. I didn't have a good experience, but
Yeah.
Just
That's
my own,
true. KFC has been a little sketchy, if I have
Yeah.
to say, recently.
I saw
Recently.
fighting in
But the
drive-thru
food's still
window.
pretty good. Like the chicken.
I feel like I've had KFC, but I feel like I've never been inside a KFC. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't remember the last time I was in a KFC, but
I don't
kinda,
remember the last time I had a KFC.
I kind of feel like we should all go get some chicken one of these days. Just
Will they have any?
Probably not.
You could go get some. What else do they have?
no, it has to be some chicken.
I'm gonna go Taco Bell.
Okay.
Cheap.
All right. So Audrey's got another question for you.
So I don't know if you're like a crime fan, but I really love crime. And this is like
What kind
kind
of
of
crime?
Just all crime.
this is a really
Oh, okay.
this is a kind of a doozy crime. Well, it's kind of gross. So there's been a serial toilet clogger on loose in Wisconsin. There has been a person
Oh,
going
oh
into he's going into the women's restroom and taking a soda bottle and shoving it into the pipe so that it clogs the toilets.
Just like over and over again.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like
They're-
mini toilets.
They were like on the hunt for him.
It's cereal. It's everywhere.
Yeah, they had to put out like public service announcements like, please
Please.
don't put this in the toilet. It will
Yeah.
Watch
clog
out
it.
for the guy with the cans.
So the
What do you
question
think about
is, would
Yeah, what's the question?
would you
What
do
am I-
that ever? Would you ever consider just like clogging a bunch of toilets?
Well, I mean, I can't really think of a good motive for that particular crime.
Yeah.
But,
what if
like,
what
you
if you
know-
just thought it was fun and you were like, I want to clog some toilets?
I mean, if I really got a thrilling rush from that, then maybe.
Maybe that's what this person gets.
Yeah, possibly. Well, also, there's all those movies about where, the guy's daughter's like kidnapped or something, and then he has to kill a bunch of people and get her back or something like that.
How does that relate at all?
Yeah, I know.
Also, I don't know what you're talking about.
So, maybe.
I
maybe
thought he
have
went back to the
cancer.
chicken or something. I was so confused.
No.
I will find
No,
you.
just wait.
And I will eat
So
it.
maybe you have cancer or something, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have to, kill all these people, and we'll give you the cure." That's like a movie thing. Well, maybe it's instead of killing all the people, it's like
You
Yeah,
have to clog all these toilets.
Yeah.
This conspiracy theory.
yeah,
Also,
I see
like,
that
Wisconsin police, we know who it is.
happening. Yeah,
wow.
Welcome to
Cool.
this episode.
Welcome
of
to
Conspiracy.
Wisconsin. I don't have a good Wisconsin
Welcome
accent.
to Wisconsin.
All right, well, yeah, thank you for joining us on the show. That was awesome. And we hope you
Yes,
don't
thank you.
ever consider clogging up some toilets.
Unless you're threatened to, then by all means. Go
yeah,
ahead.
unless you're threatened to, then go
Gotta
ahead.
protect the daughter or like cure cancer or something.
Okay.
Just normal
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. Casual.
Oh, and
Everyday
thank you
stuff.
for the review on iTunes.
Yes, it's greatly
Big shout out.
appreciated.
Woo!
Claps
Awesome.
all around the
Welcome.
room. Great at casting pods.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The casting of the pods. I would just like to give a shout out if I can.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'd just like to give a shout out to a theater performance. It's a improv performance going on at Bearden High School tomorrow night
Oh my gosh.
that I have no affiliation with, but Abian does. So
Ooh.
shout out to that.
I'm in an improv show, everyone. It's very interesting. I feel like Michael Scott. You know?
Oh
Right.
my god.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
So come on out and enjoy some improv tomorrow night at Bearden. Well,
There you go.
not really tomorrow night because we're recording this on a separate date, but
Friday, March 22nd, 3rd.
yeah.
Right.
Thanks
Friday.
for the shout out.
You're welcome.
All right. See you, Will.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oh, so last week I told my muffin joke on the air and just wanted to say,
I still don't get it.
It wasn't good.
I don't
No.
get it.
well, I went to Belize and I told it like 5 times, different people. They all thought it was like the funniest thing ever.
Did you tell it to like the kids over there?
No, it was like there were like teenagers my age. I was telling it to some like adults. They just laughed so hard.
Can we please hear it again? Because I don't understand it.
Okay, are you ready? Just
Yes.
like mentally prepare yourself.
I'm prepared.
So there's 2 muffins sitting in an oven, and one says to the other, "Boy, it's hot in here," and the other one says,
Ah! Talking muffin.
"Wow, Audrey, really? Okay, whatever."
You're welcome. Do you not? The
I
muffins
don't
are
get it.
talking to each other. And then the one's like, oh my gosh, you're talking, but he's also talking, so it's ironic. Okay, I know
It's
you're
so
not.
funny. It's so funny.
I
I
understand
know
how
you're
it's
stupid,
ironic.
but come on, Sebastian.
I think he gets it. He just doesn't
I
think
get
it's
it
funny.
now. Now that we explained it.
Do you see why it's funny?
No.
Well then.
Sorry.
Moving on.
I don't.
So Audrey's got a story.
I didn't get it the first time. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I got a story for you. So, there may have been a resurrection to happen in Turkey. So, well, here's the story. So a man says that he's not dead, but the court says that he is dead.
That's
Yeah, so this is from NPR. So basically, this man was deported from Turkey, and he is for like having expired documents, and they sent him back to Romania, and then a bunch of years later, he got all his like papers back and was able to come back to Turkey.
Mhm.
However, when he came back, he realized that he found out that he had died in 2003
His wife
what?
officially registered him as dead.
as dead.
What?
Yes, when he's going through like customs and everything, they were like,
You're not.
He was like- he
you're
was like-
dead.
he's like, no, I'm not. He's like, I'm not dead. And they're like, you're dead. And then actually,
His wife.
yeah, the funniest part of this is that he went to the court to like get rid of his death certificate, and they were like, no, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're not alive. And he
What?
says, I'm a living ghost. That's a quote from him.
Yeah.
I'm a ghost.
I have the same story, but from NBC, and the headline is Dead Man Balking. Court rejects Romanian man's claim that he is, in fact, alive.
Oh no. That would be so embarrassing. How do you explain that? It's like, I know I'm not dead. I'm standing right here, and they're like, no, you're dead. Sorry, dude.
On crime shows, I always used to love when they're like, let me look up this like person, like a suspect, and they would like look them up, and they're like, they're dead. Those parts are like, they're not alive.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
That'd be terrible to come back to. Sometimes I come back home from a trip and I'm like, oh, my room is a mess. But, coming back home and you're like, oh, I'm dead.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but I get it now.
Well, so I found another article from Fox News, and I thought this was incredible. This lady goes deep sea fishing with her kids in Australia.
Just a
and
casual trip.
Just a casual trip. And she feels something on her line. She's like, oh, that's a big fish. She reels it in for hours.
Oh my gosh.
Hours.
Hours.
This fish is bigger than her in all ways. It is longer than her, it's taller than her, and it's 130 pounds. Look, we'll post a picture on Instagram, guys.
That's almost as much as Abby Ann weighs.
Look how big that fish
Audrey
is.
thinks.
That is the biggest fish I've ever seen in my life. And they were shocked to see that there was this big of a fish coming out of the water. I mean, I would not expect to see a fish.
So in the
this
picture,
big.
the fish is sitting on the lady's lap, which I think is hilarious because she's
Yeah.
just holding the fish. If that was me,
It's like a dog.
I would be like, I'm gonna die. Like,
Hey, everybody, look at my pet fish.
yeah, fun story. When we went to Belize, we went snorkeling on our last day there, and the guide took us over to this like part of the ocean where there were these giant tar pins. I don't know if you guys know that fish.
Yeah.
They were
of course
huge, and he had us hold these like sardines out over the boat, and they would jump up and eat them, and they like almost bit our hands. I didn't try it because I'm terrified of fish. If you know me,
Abby Ann's really afraid of sharks.
it's really bad.
You're afraid of sharks?
I used
Yeah,
to send
like,
her.
terrified.
I used to text her pictures of sharks, and then she wouldn't open her phone, so she didn't have to look at it.
Audrey used to Photoshop my head into sharks' mouths. Like I feel like I
forgot.
have a reason.
I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say this fish was 5 feet 4 inches long. And it
That's
was
my exact
2
height.
inches
Oh my
bigger than
gosh.
her. So she's 5'2", and the fish is 5'4". It's
Like-
130 pounds.
She had some dedication there. I would have given up.
It took her 40 minutes.
Oh, so not
No, you
Hours.
exaggerated that.
Yeah. Well,
hyperbole.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
When you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, 40 minutes can feel like
is
an
a
hour.
while.
Well,
Man, Australia. I'll tell you.
stop
That's crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
I have another article here from NPR that's kind of it's really funny. So I don't know if any of you watched The Bachelor, but as you may know, there's kind of been a scandal in The Bachelor.
I've heard that there was a scandal, but I wasn't sure on all the details. I know there was something about the engagement and everything.
Yeah. So
What happened
the
here?
guy, he chose a winner and he proposed to her, but then later he broke it off with the girl, and then he got back with proposed to the runner-up on live TV.
What?
So.
that's crazy.
But here's the thing. He kind of made a mistake because the girl, her name was Becca Kufrin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's from Minnesota. And Minnesota is really mad about this. So they are considering to ban The Bachelor, the guy. They're not going to let him come back to
The
Minnesota.
state is
can they
mad?
just do that?
I don't know, but they are.
Why are they mad?
That
They
sounds
made a
like
bill
from Romeo
banning
and
him.
Juliet when they're like, "You are banished." Like,
Are,
you
are
come
they
back
like,
here.
are they salty that they wanted the other girl to win? They're like, no. They got to be together. They have to be together.
No, they're probably salty because he probably like broke this girl's heart and then was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, no, I changed my mind."
What is wrong with him?
That's
Minnesota
crazy.
Minnesota's being a savage right now.
Good for them. Sorry
So,
for the dude.
I don't usually watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I watched last
never
Bachelorette
seen
season though, and it was pretty good. So I was all for it this season. And then literally I just saw a picture of who The Bachelor was going to be on Twitter, and I just said, "Oh, he looks boring." So I haven't watched any of
Oh
it.
my gosh, Abby Ann.
Yeah, I've heard he's pretty boring though.
I've seen The Bachelor once. I watched it with my uncle. He's a huge fan of The Bachelor.
Your uncle's
Interesting.
Yes, it was very interesting. He made us watch the season finale at his house. I didn't want to watch it.
family reunion. We're all gonna watch The Bachelor. It'll be
He
fun.
was like freaking out. He was like, "We have to get home. I want to watch The Bachelor." I was like, "Oh,
We have to get home. I want to watch The
I
Bachelor.
want to watch The Bachelor." I was like, "Okay."
Hey,
Hey Bethany, what's up?
what's up? Just chilling.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you a call
Okay.
because you're on literally. Hey
Bethany.
Welcome to Literally Headlines,
Oh,
Bethany.
shoot, I'm so excited.
Bethany.
Hi,
Bethan.
Abby Ann. Hi, Sebastian.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. What are we talking about today?
Okay,
We've got a couple.
we got
Yes.
a couple things you can choose from. Okay.
Okay.
So-
Let's hear it.
We have Stephen Hawking. We have
Okay.
a dead man, a fish, and
Just
a
a,
KFC.
just a,
Okay, hold on. Wait, there's a dead man story, a fish story, a KFC story, and a toilet clogging story.
oh.
So you get to
Okay.
choose. You get no other details before you choose, though.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pass on the fish because my 10-minute play is about a fish, so I'm tired of that one.
Yeah.
What were my other choices? KFC. Ooh, this is tricky.
Oh, she hasn't decided yet.
We can do 2 if you want as well.
Let's get the ball rolling with the KFC one.
All right.
Okay, so
This is
welcome
Sebastian.
to Sebastian's story.
Oh my god.
So, have you ever
Wow,
been?
thank you.
No, okay, so think about it. Let's say you're walking up to a KFC and you're like, I'm about to eat some really good chicken. And then you look
Right.
on the door and they say, we're sorry, we don't have any chicken. Wouldn't that like get you super like flustered? You're like, why don't they have any chicken?
Kentucky Fried Chicken doesn't have any chicken. That's a little crazy.
Well, the funny thing is that they turned around and embraced the fact that they don't have any chicken at 600 stores. And they made a sign that was a red sign and there was an empty chicken bucket on it. And it said, instead of it saying KFC, it said FCK on the bucket. And then it says, we're sorry. And then it explains why they don't have chicken.
Look how fast she got that.
I know. It took Will a hot minute.
Wouldn't that just make your day? You'd be like, you know what? I'm not mad anymore. This is amazing. Like,
I would appreciate the advertising.
it's perfect. And that went viral. So many people saw that. It was going around Twitter, Facebook, and it almost helps the company in a way. It was like, yeah, we don't have any chicken. Like, sorry.
But here's
It
a funny
almost-
sign.
Bethany loves chicken too.
Yeah.
I actually love Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, don't expose me, but like, it's good.
You're here with Sebastian. Me and Audrey were kind of on the other side of it, but Sebastian
Yes.
apparently loves KFC.
It's so
Chick-fil-A
good.
side.
I'm with you, Sebastian.
Thank you, Bethany.
What's her favorite?
It's good.
What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite type of chicken?
My favorite. Okay, well, you can't go wrong with the classic drumstick, and then you get the
yeah.
mac and cheese on the side, and then the mashed potatoes and the gravy.
Oh, the mashed potatoes
it's
and the
so good.
gravy.
The classic drumstick.
Oh, I wonder if they ran out of mashed
Classic
potatoes.
Bethany.
Classic Bethan.
So I want to pass you on to Audrey for this one. As you might know, something happened.
So, as you might have heard, a really sad story. Stephen Hawking passed away,
I did.
and he was
I
just
heard.
so sad because he was such an amazing human being. He did so many wonderful things. Like, he's such an inspiration to everyone. I mean, like, what do you think of him and his like legacy and everything?
What do I think of Stephen Hawking? I think he's awesome, and I think it's really great that we have someone like him who like overcame so much in his life and was still so influential. And I think that's really cool to have someone to look up to like that. And he was so intelligent. It's actually crazy. I don't know. Have you guys seen the movie they made
The
about
theory
him?
of everything.
Yes.
We brought that up
Oh
a
my
lot.
god, it was so good.
So
was
good, right?
amazing.
And Eddie Redmayne.
Oh god, Eddie Redmayne. Oh, love him. He's so good.
We
Yeah,
heard that a few times.
Oh, yeah.
he's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One thing I also really love about him is that Stephen Hawking was a jokester. He was like a funny guy. He loved playing like playing pranks on people, and he was like on an episode of Homer Simpson of The Simpsons.
Was
Have
he
you ever
really?
seen- yeah, have you ever seen it?
No, I don't watch The Simpsons.
I don't either. But I mean, it's like it's so funny that he was like still happy and smiling, like even though he had this terrible illness. He also was on an episode of Monty Python, and he ran over another physicist with his wheelchair.
It's awful.
He ran him over with it. It's so funny.
So funny.
I just think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Crazy news headline.
Have you heard any crazy news headlines recently, Beth?
Crazy
Beth.
news headlines. Let me think about this one. Well, y'all know about the bridge that like fell in on the campus in
Miami.
Florida?
yeah.
In Florida?
Y'all want to know the weird? I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but like one of the people. This isn't really that crazy, but it's kind of interesting. So, one of the like people that was building the part of the bridge that fell, because you know they built it in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the like workers like called in or sent in a thing. I don't exactly know, but they were like, "There are cracks. There like are cracks in this bridge, and y'all are about to put it up, but you should know like there's cracks in it." And so, literally, the day before the bridge fell, they had a meeting on like how it was the day before, like the literal day. They had a meeting on like how to fix the cracks in the bridge.
That's
And then-
crazy.
That's awful.
Oh,
Isn't
They were
that
just a little
awful?
late.
that's
yeah.
terrible.
I know.
Oh, man.
I was actually in Florida when that happened.
Yeah,
Were people
At
hurt?
Disney.
I think so. Didn't
someone
somebody
was
die?
Killed, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
someone died.
That's awful.
That's terrible.
That's one of my worst fears. Is like a
Like
bridge
driving over a
collapsing
bridge and it
it
collapsing?
collapses.
Yeah, it's freaking scary. Wasn't afraid of it now, but now I am.
Have you heard about the story of the dog and like that's what was like shoved into the airplane bin and was like killed?
Yes, and it died.
Yeah, they like
what?
That's
yeah, like a stewardess like
That's terrible.
shoved the dog into the overhead bin.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
Wait, and she claimed to not know that there was a dog in the thing. But
What?
I mean, you have to check your dog onto a plane. Yeah,
Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
not know that?
like
That's
that's
that makes me so sad and mad
Yeah.
at that stewardess. Hopefully she got fired.
fun facts for everyone out there. There's more going on in Congress about not having dogs in overhead bins than there are school shootings. So
I saw
spread the
that.
word.
Fun fact of the day. That's what's
They
happening.
like passed a bill about like animals and planes or something like the day after it happened.
Yeah,
And they haven't done anything about that yet.
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
probably for the dog thing, I mean, most people can agree that that's a bad thing. There's like
There's not really any
Apparently,
controversy over
there's like
that.
multiple opinions on the school shooting stuff on
Yeah.
what to do for that.
I heard on NPR a while back that one person tried to take a peacock onto a plane.
What?
And they were like, "Yeah, no, you can't do that."
Okay, that's pretty cool though. Having
Yeah.
a peacock on an airplane.
Yeah.
that was me, actually.
Okay, Audrey.
So-
When
Well-
I was little, when people would ask me if I could be any animal ever, I would always answer peacock.
That is so classic Bethany.
That's
I know.
Oh,
don't
of
even
course.
Well, Bethany, thank you so much for joining us.
Bethan.
And
you, Bethan.
No why.
You
No
are
why.
so welcome, guys. Thank you
As-
for calling me.
as Stephen Hawking once said, remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet.
Oh, tender.
Okay. Got it.
Bye, Bethan.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
And I just want to say to all of our viewers out there, thank you all for like coming in, and please definitely what I meant. Thank you to all of our listeners.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He is dumb.
Okay.
Thanks
But
for watching us through your
please,
ears.
please go on the podcast app and rate our podcast. We need help to climb up
We
this
have
ladder.
2 ratings
We
currently,
have 2.
right?
Shout out to Will Dowd.
Yeah, shout out.
Thank you. I don't know who the other one is. Thank you. Please go review our podcast. We're literally headlines.
Literally, comma, headlines.
And we would literally
Love
really
you.
appreciate it.
No, we'll love you. We love you.
Not
Thank
allowed.
you.
Okay, guys, and remember to send us in some articles you want us to talk about. I know you've seen some weird things happen in the news, and you're like,
Yeah, if you find anything crazy,
that's interesting.
Send it to us on Instagram. Definitely. Thank you.
Instagram,
Or Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter. Abby Ann
none
will
of which I'm
respond.
on, but soon.
Abby Ann just like talks through a can, you know.
Yeah, I actually like tied up a string to a can. Yeah. Yeah, people are a little annoyed, but it's fine.
It's not the favorite way of communication. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep.
Alrighty, guys. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next week.
See you
Thanks for
next week.
listening.
Bye.
Woo.
So yeah, that was pretty good.
I love them.
Sebastian, you don't have to be stupid all the time.
I hope they write some pretty awesome reviews. The funniest review is like gonna be my best friend ever.
Sebastian,
Did you hear that? If this is still there,
Oh, we're still on.
if we're still on, and you can hear this, Sebastian will be. Wait, what did you say?
also,
back to
like, if you
whispering?
think I should do an ASMR.
ASMR with Audrey Jones.
No, you're not welcome to join my ASMR group.
It's a club.
I'm gonna start a school club. ASMR.
Please do
Audrey
not.
Jones.
Good thing I don't go to your school. Huh?
Well, you're a loser. I mean, you're a loser.